Hello everyone, so today I'm here to do my February TBR and I'm very excited. So obviously we have lots of things going on in February. We have Valentine's Day, we've got Black History Month, we've got maybe it's your birthday in February. So hopefully this will be a stunning month. I'm excited for my reading plans and hopefully I will be getting a lot of reading done. I'm very in the reading mood, so very excited. And I have a selection of things to read, and obviously, you know, with Valentine's Day I do have some romance that I want to read. So the first book that I want to read is Sense and Sensibility, which I will be listening to on Audible, who is sponsoring this video, so thank you so much to them. I'm sure you know by now, but if you don't, Audible is the leading provider in spoken word entertainment, all in one place. So you can listen to audiobooks on there, you can listen to podcasts on there, you can listen to sleep tracks for better rest, you can listen to guided fitness and meditation programs, and so much more. I honestly use Audible every day, so very thankful that I get to work with them because I use them all the time. And basically how it works is every month Audible members get access to one free audiobook and full access to their Plus catalogue. So I've been loving going through the Plus catalogue and downloading titles that interest me, listening to podcasts on there. They also have the sleep tracks and their guided fitness and meditation programs on there. And the Sense and Sensibility audiobook is actually in the Plus catalogue, so that means it's included in my membership. So how stunning is that? And actually all of Jane Austen's works are in the Audible Plus catalogue, so that's perfect for me because I'm planning to read lots of Jane Austen this year, because Caitlin is doing a year-long Patreon Jane Austen buddy read. So basically for January and February the book is Sense and Sensibility, so that is definitely what I'm going to be reading in February. And I'm so excited because the audiobook is narrated by Rosamund Pike. Are you kidding? She's the girl boss who plays Amy Dunn in Gone Girl, and she's also in Wheel of Time, and I love her and I love her voice. So honestly, very excited. Audible selection is huge. They have audiobooks from all different genres, so they have non-fiction audiobooks, romance audiobooks, historical fiction, fantasy, celebrity memoirs, and so much more. So whatever mood you're in, you'll definitely find a title for you, and it is just so nice to go on a walk, listen to your audiobook, and just get completely lost in it. So highly recommend Audible. You can actually get a 30-day free trial using my link audible.com/bookswithchloe or texting bookswithchloe to 500 So yeah, very excited to consume the story of Sense and Sensibility via the audiobook. I have no idea what it's about actually. I don't know anything about the story. So I'm excited to have Rosamund Pike's voice in my ears and listen to the story. But yeah, I just know it's like a romance drama, so perfect time to read it. And obviously I've been wanting to get more into classics because read Wuthering Heights last year, loved it, so I definitely want to get some classics read this year. But another book that I'm reading for Caitlin's Patreon is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I've actually already read this book. I listened to the audiobook on Audible like a few years ago, and I really loved it at the time. I think I gave it 4 stars, but obviously timing is everything, and I feel like now I would love it even more and appreciate it even more and give it like 5 stars potentially, because I remember the writing was beautiful, but I definitely don't think I appreciated it enough. And now I'm, you know, completely in my poetry era, and this book isn't poetry, it's told in prose, but the writing is definitely very poetic, and Ocean Vuong does write poetry and stuff, so I just feel like it will hit so different if I read it now. So very excited to read it with everyone on Caitlin's Patreon, and obviously with Caitlin. Yeah, wow, like I can't stop thinking about it. I absolutely love it. It's basically about this boy, this Vietnamese boy who is gay, and he basically is dealing with his sexuality and his difficult relationship with his mother and the complicated relationship with your parent when they're an immigrant from a different country, which I can relate to. So yeah, I remember loving it, but I don't really remember much about the actual story. I just remember stunning writing. Thank you. So yeah. And then my Patreon buddy read book for this month is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and I can't wait because this is one of Caitlin's favourite books of last year, and when she was reading it she was like, you need to read it, and I was like, okay. So I'm very excited that we're reading it in February because obviously Valentine's Day, but I want to focus on celebrating the love of friendships and the love that I have for women and amazing people as well, not just romantic love. So Ariadne should deliver, because Caitlin kept saying how she was close to tears because of how women empowering this book is and how much she just loves women. Like I remember she was reading this and she was just like, I just love women so much, and she was like literally about to cry, and I was like, that's what I need. So I don't actually know much about this story. It's obviously a Greek mythology retelling. Don't know much about Ariadne. Well, I don't think I know anything about Ariadne, but I know it has beautiful writing and it's about women. Prologue. Let me tell you the story of a righteous man. The righteous man of the story is King Minos of Crete, who set out to wage a war on Athens. His war was one of retribution upon them for the death of his son Andromache. You probably didn't say that right. Okay, anyway. Wow! Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Especially because I was looking at the Song of Achilles the other day and I nearly cried. And I was like, wow, I just love that story so much. So I'm hoping, obviously this is going to be different, but I just want the stunning Greek mythology, beautiful writing vibes. So I'm sure this will deliver. So if you don't know, I film a spoiler-filled reading vlog for my Patreon. So if you want to join us in reading Ariadne, my Patreon is linked below. And then I have a few other romances I want to read. So for example, I would love to get to The Sweetest Remedy by Jane Igaro. And basically this follows a woman who travels to Nigeria to attend the funeral of her father that she never knew. And she meets her Nigerian family, she meets a love interest, and she basically discovers parts of herself that she did not know were missing. So I'm sure this is going to be a gorgeous story. I obviously am excited for the romance, but I'm more excited for the character's journey in learning more about herself and connecting to her cultural roots and everything. So yes, very excited. Then I also want to read How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. Basically this follows Bethany Liu, and she finds out that this actor that she's obsessed with, Keanu Reeves, is getting married, and she's like, absolutely not. So she goes on this quest to try and stop him from marrying this person, because obviously she wants to be with him, and then she gets one of her best friends to come along for the journey. And the only reason the best friend agrees is because he has a huge crush on her. So basically it's going to be a fun adventure story, and then hopefully she'll realize that her true love has been right beside her this whole time. So very fun. I'm sure this will be a quick fun romance, and I feel like it also has kind of the summer vibes, and I am in summer right now, so could be perfect for me to read on the beach or something. I was gonna say it could be fun to read this in the car because obviously it's like a road trip vibe, but absolutely not. I would get so car sick. And then of course I don't want to read too much romance, so I need to get some anti-romance books in there. So I have Acts of Desperation, which is a blistering anti-romance about the seductive destruction of trying to find self-worth in the gaze of another, which I'm very excited about because I think I've mentioned before, I definitely used to have, well, maybe I still have this issue. I'm working on it. I, like a lot of people, have been guilty of finding self-worth in the gaze of another. So I've actively been working on that, trying to stop that and getting my self-worth from within. But I feel like there's always work to be done. So I am very excited to read this and hopefully get some more insights. I've also just never heard of any book like this. So I really have high hopes. Like I'm gonna be quite disappointed if I don't like it because I've been hyping this book up in my head for a while now. But it says that this novel also separates the idea of love and the experience of it, and takes the reader to the place where it comes into being. So just very, very interesting. Fearless, original, and beautifully written study of love and shame. Like, honestly, I need to start this like maybe even tonight. I'm so excited. As soon as I decided I was going to read this in February, I have been waiting. So it is the 2nd of February now, and I'm like, yeah, let's get to it, guys. Oh, let's get to it. Actually, let's read the first sentence. It's a fun thing. Oh, Dublin. I did not realize this was an Irish book as well. Or maybe I did, but I forgot. But also, I have seen people say that if you like normal people, you'll like this book. And I think normal people's okay. Like, I gave it like 3 stars, I think. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Reading is just everything. Like the fact that you can learn so much from reading. Like, I just don't understand how some people can go through their lives and not read. Like, I understand, like, maybe it's not for you, but like, I'm very thankful for books and everyone who writes them. And lastly, I have a non-fiction that I want to read. This is Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn, but it actually has lots of different authors. So basically, journalist Natasha Lunn sets out to understand how relationships work and evolve over a lifetime, which is something that I'm very curious about, especially recently. I've been thinking about that a lot. So I'm really in the mood to read this. Basically, Natasha Lunn turned to authors and experts to learn about their experiences as well as drawing from her own. And she asks the questions, how do we find love? How do we sustain it? And how do we survive when we lose it? So this book covers different types of love between lovers, strangers, parents, friends, endings, beginnings. Once again, I've really built this up in my head. I really have high hopes for this, so I really hope it delivers. For years, I was committed to longing for a reply to a text message, for an I love you, or for a man to look at me a certain way. If I was in a relationship, I longed for it to last. And if I wasn't, I longed to find one. This is interesting as well because I feel like so many of us see the time between relationships as like a filler time while you're waiting to get into the next relationship. I remember I watched this amazing video from Best Dressed. I think she made a video talking about like how I learned to love being single. Absolutely love that video. I remember she talked about that, how she used to feel like anytime she'd be out of a relationship waiting to get into a new one, she would feel like that was like an insignificant period sort of thing, and she didn't feel like whole. But obviously you are whole. You don't need to be in a relationship for you to have self-worth and for you to matter. So I'm very excited for these insights. Wow, I know I said it before, but I feel like we really just need to realize how lucky we are to live in a time where we have access to so many books. Like obviously there's the classic issue like, oh my god, how am I going to read all these books in my lifetime? You know, that does sort of stress me out, but also I'm just so thankful to have so many books that I'm excited about always, and I always have things to look forward to because I have books to read that I'm excited about. Like that's pretty stunning. Anyway, so those are all the main books on my February TBR. I do hope to read more, but you know, like I said, these are the main ones. Let me know what books you hope to read in February. I plan to film some fun videos in February, so I obviously need to film my best books of the year. Still haven't done that, so hopefully I'll do that ASAP. I'm gonna redo my bookshelves hopefully in February. I'm gonna do like a book unhaul. Lots of fun content coming in February. So thank you so much for being here. If you're looking for more content from me, I have a Patreon where I upload extra content like extra reading vlogs. We do a monthly live show, we do a monthly buddy read, etc. I have all my socials linked below, including my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/gamewithchloe, which is where I stream games and just chatting. We also do like reading sprints and stuff there. Thank you so much once again to Audible for sponsoring this video. Don't forget you can go to audible.com/bookswithchloe or text bookswithchloe to 500 to get a 30-day free trial. So yeah, hope you're all having a good day or night, and I'll see you in my next video.